Hey everybody, I'm John Everts from California Leasing, and welcome back to Agents in Community. As you guys know, this is my favorite segment because it's where we get to highlight people doing amazing stuff in the community. This is my new friend Felicia from eXp Realty. How are you?
I'm doing super. How are you?
Good. I'm doing really well, and I am excited to meet you and learn about what you're doing. I have a passion for meeting and connecting with real estate agents who are giving back to the community. Like, that's something that's super important to me because I think it makes life better, right?
Yes.
And you're involved with an organization that's doing some great work. So tell us about it.
Sure. Well, I'm part of the Wild at Heart Horse Rescue, which is located in Lancaster in the Antelope Valley. They rescue horses they give them a second chance is what they do.
Awesome.
And so they are also a part of the ASPCA Ride Horse program, which is a major commitment to responsible rehoming and lifelong care.
Awesome. That sounds like a ton of work. So what I want to know is, how did this organization get started? And was there one inspiring factor, or what was the inspiration behind this?
Well, the founders are Mike and Leslie Stewart, and the Wild at Heart Horse Rescue was started in 2017. And they, like I said, they became affiliated with the ASPCA Ride Horse program, and they're still at it and doing what they love and giving these horses a second chance at life.
So they found something they were passionate about, and they were able to translate that into helping the community by rescuing these horses.
Correct.
Awesome. Well, can you tell us a little bit more about what Wild at Heart Horse Rescue is, and why is it meaningful to you personally? Why did you get involved in this?
So the Wild at Heart Horse Rescue is a local nonprofit, and they're just doing incredible work rehabilitating horses, and I'm proud to be one of their advocates. But as far as why it's so meaningful to me is I was truly moved by what Mike and Leslie do, which is their dedication, their compassion, and the way they step in for horses that have nowhere else to go. It's a place for where every horse matters.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
That is so cool. I'm actually feeling this as you're talking. I can feel the passion that you have for this organization. So Felicia, can you tell us a little bit about where do these horses come from? What kind of situations arise where a horse needs to be rescued?
Well, one of the things that surprised me when I first learned about the rescue is about 90% of the horses they take in are owner surrender. And the stories behind them are often very heartbreaking. And some come from families who have lost a loved one and they don't want to send the horses to auction.
Gotcha.
And then others come from owners facing terminal illnesses or people relocating out of the state, and they simply just can't bring their horses with them. So many of these horses aren't unwanted, they're just the owners love them. But due to life circumstances, it makes it impossible for them to care for them.
Makes sense.
And that's where the Wild at Heart Horse Rescue steps in to make sure that these horses land safely and compassionately.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I haven't really thought about that, but I can imagine if you owned a horse and then something in your life happened and made it so you couldn't properly care for that horse anymore, what do you do? I haven't thought about that before.
Right.
That's amazing.
So at any time, the rescue can care up to 40 horses.
Wow.
And usually there's a long waiting list of horses that urgently need a safe place to go.
So then are they trying to adopt them out after that?
Yes.
Okay.
They have professional trainers who evaluate the horses, rehabilitate where they can, and then those that are unable to be rehabilitated end up being permanent residents there.
Okay. Gotcha.
And they are adoptable, but as pets, not as a rideable horse.
Gotcha. So, I feel a little bit of pull on my heartstrings, and I don't even own a horse or ride horses, So I imagine that people that are in the horse community, this is pulling on their heartstrings. So if somebody's watching this and they want to get involved, they're like, how can I help these people who are doing this amazing work? How can someone support this organization? What's the best way?
Sure. Well, like many nonprofits, the Wild at Heart Horse Rescue depends heavily on volunteers. And volunteers are the backbone of the rescue. So with 40 horses, as you can imagine, there's a lot of maintenance involved and care, like mucking the stalls, filling the water feeders, and making sure each horse has a clean, comfortable space. So if you've ever thought about volunteering, they would love to have you. And
That's amazing.
yeah, they have new volunteer orientation every Saturday at 8 a.m. There's a little bit of paperwork involved, but it's...
Can you just show up? Do you schedule online?
No, you can just show up, but it starts at 8 o'clock on Saturday.
Okay.
And it's quick and easy. I believe you could call and make an appointment too if you wish.
Okay.
But you don't need any experience, and it's just a can-do attitude and a willingness to help. So every horse that comes to the horse rescue is evaluated to see what their future would look like. So as I mentioned before, that they're paired with professional trainers to see if they're adoptable. And then they work with them so they're safe, confident, and ready to ride when they meet their new families.
Okay.
But due to age, medical issues, past trauma, there are horses that cannot be ridden.
Yeah.
So instead of being cast aside, they become cherished permanent residents, and they still will have full happy lives at the rescue. They're also adoptable too, but as companion-only horses.
Right.
And they're also perfect candidates for sponsorships. So another way the horse rescue operates is by sponsors. And a full sponsorship for a horse is $250 a month, which covers things like veterinary care, food, and hoof trims. But you could sponsor as little as $25 a month for the horses, and that's a big help too. Every dollar goes directly to the care and training of these horses, and your donations impact their quality of life. So you could donate or sponsor a horse.
Or volunteer.
Or volunteer, or do all those things. We're going to have a link at the bottom of the video for people to click on to see how they can donate.
Awesome.
And it is a place of hope for these horses, for second chances. And I'm really hoping the mission touched your heart the way it touched mine. And I invite you to get involved and simply share the video with others so that these horses do get a second chance.
I love it. I love it. And thank you for being involved in this organization.
Sure.
I mean, that's what this segment is about, is we know that there are real estate agents out there doing really great work in the community. It makes the community a better place. And what we want to do is not only highlight you and what you're doing so that people know when they hire you to sell their home or help them buy a home, they're getting a quality human being. But we also want to shine a spotlight on these organizations like Wild at Heart Horse Rescue, so that there's more awareness about these organizations so that they can continue to grow and thrive. So
Yeah.
Thank you for what you're doing.
Well, thank you for allowing me to be a part of this and to share, all the great things the Wild at Heart Rescue are doing and will continue to do.
Yeah. I did not know about this organization before we met. So at least one person, maybe two, Michael back there, learned about a new nonprofit, and hopefully some people watching also learned about a new fantastic nonprofit. Super good to meet you.
Likewise,
Thank
John.
you for coming out and sharing your time with us. Get involved. If you're a horse person, if this pulled on your heartstrings, it's not every day that we get to talk about an organization where there's ample volunteer opportunities. I know a lot of people want to do volunteer work. This is a great one.
Right.
So I'm super glad you brought this organization to us. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time on Agents in Community.